Hey everyone, welcome back to Walk with Neil, where we talk tech while on my daily walk in Brooklyn. This is part one of my series covering how to successfully implement AI inside your company. Whether you're just getting started or already experimenting, this series is all about helping you build structure and strategy behind the hype. I'm Neil Bhay. I've served as a CTO across media, music, and tech. And today, I work with companies as a fractional, full-time, or interim CTO, especially while they're tackling big shifts like AI adoption. So if you're in that space and need help in your transformation, contact me today. Before your team starts fine-tuning models, engaging in AI partnerships, or wiring up tools like ChatGPT, there should be something foundational in place in your org, and that's AI governance. Now, I'm not talking about creating bureaucracy for the sake of bureaucracy. I'm talking about creating the clarity, alignment, and structure you need so your AI projects don't just live inside slide decks. Sure, you could hire a dedicated team to focus on introducing AI initiatives, but in most cases, you're structuring this input from different parts of the org with people in the weeds. First, let's talk about what an AI governance team looks like. AI governance works best when it's cross-functional. You'll want voices from legal, product, engineering, the business side, and of course, people with AI and data backgrounds. My opinion on why a lot of companies stumble, it's because they expect the folks on this committee to do all the work themselves. And these are already some of the business people in the org with their day-to-day responsibilities. That's why a governance team should be expected to act as a steering body, not necessarily the hands-on builders. The people on this committee should be empowered to rely on individual contributors from their departments when action is required. And because people in different departments don't always speak the same language, if you don't already have your processes mapped out, I'd recommend bringing in a business analyst, someone who can go deep with each team, map out their workflows, and help uncover the inefficiencies where AI can actually make a difference. Once that team structure is in place, you'll want to appoint a program steward for the team to keep things moving. This could be one person or two. I recommend two. In this role, you need people who can drive the cadence, who can track initiatives, and make sure nothing gets lost in committee. Keep it simple. Use Notion, Airtable, whatever fits your workflow. And aim for something actionable, like one or two meaningful internal AI pilots each quarter. And as you're getting started, I'd say there's two potential areas of focus for the team: AI that accomplishes operational efficiency versus AI product enhancements. I'd recommend prioritizing operational efficiency for your AI initiatives. Automate the boring stuff, save your team's time, build trust with quick, easy internal wins. And once you've got momentum, you can build towards more ambitious product-facing initiatives. Second big topic is to let your use cases lead, not the tech. Maybe someone on the team gets excited about a new model or vendor, and suddenly the question becomes, how do we use this? Well, while sometimes that works and the value is immediately apparent, that approach can be completely backward from what's more effective. Instead, start with the problems, go team by team and ask, what's repetitive? What's time consuming? What's frustrating to deal with week after week? You'll find the best entry points for AI right there in your daily grind. Things like summarizing support tickets, reviewing QA logs, or generating content metadata. These aren't flashy moonshots, but they're huge time savers. And you're not looking to solve everything at once. You're looking to solve one real problem well. And remember, most successful use cases don't go 0 to 60 and start as enterprise-wide platforms on day one. They start small, they start internal, and they start with a pilot that proves value fast. That's what builds credibility and buy-in across the org. Along with that advice, the team should prioritize by categorizing and scoring your AI initiatives. Once you have a backlog of ideas, how do you know which ones to focus on first? This is where a little structure goes a long way. I'd suggest prioritization with clean categorization buckets and a scoring methodology. For example, some projects will be focused on the category of automating workflows, which means cutting down manual steps in business processes. Others will aim to make knowledge more accessible, meaning surfacing the right information at the right time for your teams. Might have initiatives that support better decision-making with AI forecasting, or ones that elevate the customer experience with personalization or smarter responses. And of course, some ideas will focus on supplementing employee work, helping people do their jobs faster and better through copilots, writing aids, or intelligent suggestions. Once you have your ideas categorized, you can start scoring them. I would suggest avoiding a complicated formula. Just simple ratings around business value, feasibility, potential risks, and how quickly you can get to a working pilot. Now that you've got the idea train moving, if you want the freedom to keep experimenting, you need to prove that what you're doing is working. That means tracking some basic outcomes, like time saved, or even just the number of pilots that successfully made it to production. This doesn't have to be a monster dashboard, and this was advice I heard recently. It just has to tell a simple story. This is working, and it's worth investing in. Don't forget to monitor post-launch KPIs. Often what seemed to pilot really well, or the promise was over-touted in the initial pitch, may not reveal the same ideals in full practice. The only way you know your AI is succeeding is formulating up front the definition of measurable success via KPIs. And finally, let's talk legal and compliance. Definitely not optional. If you're bringing in third-party tools, working with customer data, or generating content at scale, your legal and security teams need to be involved. You'll want to look at how data is being handled. Are your prompts being stored or used to train someone else's model? Who owns the content that's generated? Where is the data being stored? Look, every company is different. There's no perfect template for how to roll out AI governance, especially because for many teams, these are brand new muscles. You may not have the internal buy-in or be fully staffed to execute full governance, but what matters is that you start and have some means to speed up evaluation for an introduction of AI into your org. Create just enough structure to support experimentation without creating red tape. Focus on real operational wins before chasing shiny objects, and make sure you have a way to prioritize, evaluate, and move on the ideas that matter most. If you do that, you won't just experiment with AI, you'll make it part of how your company works. If this episode gave you something to think about, go ahead and like, comment, or share it. It helps others get their AI journey off on the right foot too. If I can help you introduce AI into your organization, definitely reach out. And stay tuned for more in this series where I'll walk through how to actually launch AI pilots, including common pitfalls. Until then, keep walking, keep building, and keep leading smart. And thank you for joining me on Walk with Neil. See you next time.